Good day, everybody. This is the Ecclesiarch here, back with contest number 6 for our traditional card creation tournament. And as always, back again with Shad. So, Shad's up.
Oh yeah, hello. It's the sound of progress, my friends. The healing tournament.
Oh, yes, and that's the sound of Fun Police as well. So get ready, boys, because you're going to get policed very soon in this one.
Always.
So, Shad, as always, we're not breaking the tradition. We're first going to be presenting our own cards, and as always, yours is up first. So, would you like to begin?
Sure, I'll take it away. So this was an idea I had a while ago for an apothecary cycle. I didn't finish it, but this one is probably my favorite of the designs. It is Caduceus Grinder, Siege Apothecary. A 3-energy Iron Warriors Astartes. It's got 2/5 stats, so about right stats for a normal troop, although a bit badly distributed. But it also has, whenever a friendly troop dies, heal 1 to all friendly units. So this is obviously playing into Iron Warriors' sort of little sub-theme they used to have of, sacrificing your own troops, throwing them into the meat grinder. They don't really have that in the rework, but Perturabo's Old Reckoning, for example, used to trigger in the same way. So playing into that.
Yeah, that really does sound something that would be pretty cool in that sense. A Reckoning or with the virus bombs even and so on. So that would be some interesting stuff, honestly. Yeah, I would definitely love to see something like this in the old Iron Warriors. And also, I love the fact that it's a common. Because, as you know, I'm a legendary whore, so...
Yeah, well, you got to build out the whole faction, right?
Absolutely. And speaking of which, yeah, I made another legendary, and this time it's Apothecary Voon from the Death Guard. A pretty cool character, first of all. Like, I really loved him in the Flight of the Eisenstein. So it's a 5 energy 2/6, so the stats are not that great in terms of attack. Health is pretty good, but it has a resolution to give poison to all units. That means like everybody gets poisoned, but then he has a relentless to heal 2 to all friendly units. So every turn he keeps stacking poison to everybody. That unfortunately includes allied troops and himself as well. But then at the start of the next turn, if he does survive, he does heal 2 to everyone. So that means he does fix the damage that he dealt. But something to keep in mind is that since it does poison 2 every single turn, then slowly the poison's gonna outscale the healing. So it's a little scary. So what do you think, Shad?
Yeah, I really like the flavor of this card, although he seems to be from the Death Watch, not the Death Guard. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I love the flavor because Apothecary Voon, he was one of Garrow's crew, so he actually was carrying a disease he didn't know that he tried to find a cure for. So perfect flavor there. He's a vector for it, even though he's also trying to fix it. Mechanically, it competes with I forget the name of the card.
Ties of Malady.
No, the troop. It's much more comparable to the troop. It's five energy 4/6, I think. Yeah,
poisoner, more the poisoner.
Yeah, that was it. With resolution, give poison 1 to all enemy troops. So that's a similar style of effects. It's a body, and you're giving poison. But this one, just different distributions. Yeah, solid. I like it.
All right, and plus, yeah, I think the character is pretty cool, so it really inspired me to go that way. But anyway, enough like giving ourselves compliments. Let's move on. Let's move on to the actual player-made cards, and let's begin. And yours is first, Amarel Ena.
All right. Let's see, Amarel Ena. It is a legendary Sons of Horus Warlord, 2/30. So that's already quite interesting there. We'll get onto that. He has a purple card, Dreadnought Entered, which that should be Dreadnought Interred, so spelt Interred. Starts with an extra card as well. Should we start with Anne? Just going ham on the first card. 2 energy, heal 3 to a friendly unit. Next time, give +0, 1, and a Mark of Chaos to a friendly troop. So... Oh, sorry, I should probably do with the purples and all that first. So, first of all is purple. It's a little pseudo-reckoning card. Makes sense. Guy is legendary. It's 20 cost. Reduce this card's cost by 4 for every friendly troop in play with a Mark of Chaos. So that is basically the same as Lorgar's, just caring about Marks of Chaos instead of demons. And it turns him into Ezekarion, which I think might be a mistake. or maybe that was the name of. I don't know if this is a character from the lore. You see, I haven't heard of him, but it might be. Maybe he got named as Akarion when he was put in the Dreadnought. Amarel Corrupted, 330, but boosts the attack like normal. And friendly troops put in play gain a Mark of Chaos. Very nice passive. With a 2 energy of deal 2 damage to all enemies. Next time heal 2 to all friendly units. So that's how he's fulfilling the requirement of the tournament with the healing. It's got an on-off ability. I don't really know whether this is a character or not. Again, if he's an apothecary or something that why it makes sense he heals. Honestly, it's fine. It's Mark of Chaos support. It's got lots of weird little issues going on. I mean, it's a 230, but a legendary. That's already very strange. It's a legendary in a faction that already has a legendary. There can be only one, and it's Horus. Horus would be very upset with this. There's a few typos here and there. Dreadnought interred again. Said that already. Start with an. The +0/1. I believe the way EG would word that would be 0/+1. They put the pluses in front of the actual integers. Mark of Chaos to a friendly troop. You don't have to capitalize friendly there. And Amarel Corrupted. There was something. Enemies. Enemies is spelled with an IES at the end, not a YS.
Oh, that's my fault. He corrected that, and I forgot to change it.
Oh, okay. Well, I revoke one sin then. Put the Cinema Sin sound effect taking away all that, whatever it is. The worst channel in the world. Anyway, sorry, did you have anything to say about this one, mate?
Well, first of all, yeah, he's definitely a character, Shad. This guy is an he's an apothecary. And
he is an apothecary.
Yeah, and then he becomes a dreadnought. So, although
fair enough, then.
Although I don't believe, I don't remember when he becomes a dreadnought. Was it during the Sons of Horus era or Black Legion era? But in any case,
actually, yeah, no, I missed that on the art because it doesn't look very much like an apothecary, but he does actually have an Arthesium on his hand, doesn't he? It's kind of hidden right behind his claw.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's an apothecary for sure, so definitely it goes into the theme. 30 HP starts with an extra card. He does have a healing, and he has like a thing. So first he heals, he then gives him Marks of Chaos. I think what I don't like, I would put the Mark of Chaos first, because on turn 1 you're probably not gonna be healing a lot of times, so it's kind of dead.
Yeah.
On turn 1 if you go first, so it would be, I think, cooler if he first did the Mark of Chaos and then did the healing. Other than that, I like how it's like a Lorgar type of reckoning. We don't have many of those in the game, and I like how when he turns into a dreadnought, he kind of keeps his theme of Mark of Chaos and healing. So I guess it kind of makes sense in its own way. The only bad thing I have to say is it's probably be better if you first gave a mark and then heal, because then it becomes a nerf, and I don't think that 30 HP warlords need to be nerfed even more. So that's one problem.
It just seems strange. Make him an epic, make him 235. That would solve most of my issues. Take away his extra card as well, like it's extra like fluff that isn't needed. Yeah, then I'd be fine with him, honestly. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, pretty interesting guy.
Yeah. It's a fine design. It just does like everything that Sons of Horus Warlords do anyway, so it wouldn't really change much other than a little bit more Mark of Chaos support.
Fair enough.
It's fine.
All right. Next, we have the first Nightlord card. So Nightlords are super popular, man. Like,
as always.
And this is Lansahai's blessing. So Modrim Lansahai, I understand. So Terror Hospital of the Flamemaster. I love the art, by the way. I gotta tell you, it's pretty cool. It's a 4 energy 110. Can't attack. When terror or murder is triggered, heal to your warlord, and heal does damage to an enemy unit instead. Ooh, so look at this. Basically, as long as this is in play, the enemy healing does damage, so they're not allowed to heal, essentially. And what it does for you is that whenever you trigger terror or murder, it just heals you for 2. I think this is from William Wong. I think the guy, I might be mistaken, but I think he does a lot of Gwent-inspired stuff. And there's like this mechanic in Gwent called locations. Just like Alduruk, for example, there's a lot of those. And Honestly speaking, it's pretty interesting. It has a lot of HP though, 10 HP, but then again, I do understand the idea because it doesn't really do that much because it has a lot of conditions. First of all, if it's against an enemy who has no healing, you're kind of wasting half of the card's ability. So I guess the high stats are justified in that case. So yeah, honestly speaking, I think it's actually pretty cool. I gotta say, kind of, I have a soft spot for Gwent, so I do like it. But I know that I think you're gonna dislike it, Chad. So
No, you're wrong. I
I'm
like this
wrong.
design.
Really
Yes, yeah, I do.
nice.
I don't like how the execution is sometimes, pun intended, but overall, yeah, I get what he's going for, and I do like it. So obviously, it's a structure, can't attack. Whenever terror or murder is triggered, that's good. The wording is the problem here. It's unclear what the healing clause means, and healing does damage to enemy unit instead. That implies like all healing, not just your opponent's healing, which I assume is what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
So all I would say there is just replace the healing thing with just a separate line. So always put a sentence in between when you're separating abilities out, just for clarity's sake. And just say your enemy units can't heal or something like that. That'll be simple. Like they play a Pi Alpha, it does nothing, doesn't heal. You could like do the healing inversion thing too, but that creates lots of weird little niche cases. I don't think that's a good thing overall. But yeah, no, I get what you're going for. 110, that is a good amount of stats. Yes, 10 health is a lot, but one attack is so puny that it becomes almost free to attack. So really, you maybe even could have overstatted it a little more, especially since it's a structure which suffers from ordnance. So yeah, overall, I like it. It's about pretty well balanced. It's about where it should be, and it's got some really interesting use of mechanics there. Yeah.
Awesome.
Another Nightlord's card I like. What the hell?
Yeah, this truly are the end times, I have to say. So
Yeah.
Shad, next is from so this was from William Wong. Next is Callum McKee, and you get the Venum Assassin.
All right, Venum Assassin, a legendary Imperial Army warlord, neutral at 230, which seems to be normal for... Well, actually, no, Calidus has 35 health, doesn't it? Yeah, well, it is Venum Assassin, Alchemical Master. It has a purple card, Flood the Vents, and its active ability is 2 energy, give poison 2 to an enemy unit, or heal 2 and remove poison from a friendly unit, with high initiative. And the purple is 5 energy, give poison 2 and stun all units, excluding your warlord. Draw a card. So, yeah, I like the art. It's better than the GW module they eventually made. But overall, I just... What does this do is the problem. You've made a card that... How do you build around this that is meaningfully different from any other warlord? Like, you don't. It's just generic value. Like, you can't factor or rely on your opponent using poison against you, so that's not something that you leverage because, like, 2 factions in the game have it. The purple, it's just a board wipe, fancy slow board wipe, that's it. And the ability is just removal or healing. So you just made Loken. You made neutral Loken.
I would like to actually add something, Shad. I think in this case, I'm going to be the fun police, and I got to say, I really don't like it. I'll tell you why. Yeah? It says give poison to an enemy unit. So this is essentially Mortarian's ability, but targetable, which makes it very toxic and you're going to go first almost always because you got high initiative. So if you go against some warlord that is pretty slow, per se, you can stack poison on them, and on the energy turn 5, you can stun all units and give poison 2 to them. That includes the enemy warlord. So I imagine that in like 3 turns, your enemy is pretty much sentenced to death already. So I think it's a little too overpowered.
I can see that.
It does have 30 HP, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, actually, now I think about it, though, I do like the 30 HP for flavor reasons, because the Venum Assassin clad are specifically supposed to be not frontline assassins. So, yeah, Calidus having 35, but this having 30 makes sense. Yeah, no, I agree with your assessment. I didn't think about the burn angle. At least that would give it a niche, though. So I take back a little bit of what I said about the poison. But again, it makes the other ability just extraneous. And if the burn strategy doesn't work, it would be a very one-sided, what's the word? Like, linear game plan. You do the same thing every game. You poison them. It's a burn warlord, isn't it? It's a face warlord. It's like playing old Angron.
Yeah, kind of. Kind of like that. Okay, in that case, moving on to a card by Nightlord of Eager and Tainted Narthecium. Narthecium. And oh my god, I love the art. Look at that.
Dude's having the time of his life.
Yeah, look at how happy he is. It's like this reminds me actually of something in Total Warhammer when the Great Unclean One does his diarrhea attack, and there's like a small nurgling just dancing in there. He's so happy.
I'm gonna have that mental image in me for the rest of the video now. Could you have waited?
No, I could have not. So, Tainted Narthecium. Choose one effect. First is heal fully to a friendly troop. Destroy a friendly troop. Create a copy of it in your hand and it costs one less. So essentially, you either heal a troop fully or destroy the troop and create a copy of it in your hand that costs one less. This is actually pretty interesting. You know why? Because automatically this blends really well with the Death Guard Backlash gameplay, because that means that you can return some cards back into your hand and replay them while also triggering the backlash. And you can even use do this on some legendaries. Like even in the late game, you could use this on Mortem Lamentia. This is pretty strong, and it's a rare as well. And even though it doesn't really incentivize a new type of play, pretty solid, I would say. But there is only one problem I have with this card, Chad. I think if it didn't even have that choose one effect, it's already a good card, because in 90% of the cases, you're going to use it to destroy, not to heal. What do you think?
Yeah, well, the main problem I have here is that it just doesn't really function with EG's code, and it will be quite easy to fix, so there's a slight error there. EG are incapable with the way that the game is coded right now of making a choose effect that can then target, or a target effect that can then choose. It's just not something they can do. And it'd be very easy to fix too, because there's no reason you couldn't combine the first and... Oh, wait, no, they all target friendlies, don't they? Oh, yeah, that's... So
you should just add a card in your hand, and then that card does something, is the way you
maybe?
do it. Yeah,
that could work. I don't know. It's just, it doesn't really function. But okay, so I'm gonna assess this on the premise that it does function, because Hearthstone can do it, so EG should be able to. It's not like it's an incomprehensible problem for them to overcome. They should be able to do this by now. Do you remember when Ulan Huda was spoiled? And it was like, oh my god, they finally fixed the goddamn spaghetti code. They can do it now. And then it turned out all the effects were just bloody random.
Yes.
Oh,
absolutely.
The disappointment. Yeah. Yes, I like it. Destroy. Yeah. No, it's. I do really like it, because the heal fully effect is usually what you're going to use, but being able to just cycle it and it becomes a 1 energy draw a card essentially, because it's making a copy of something you want in your hand and reducing it by 1. That's 1 energy to draw a card is the going rate, so it makes sense, especially considering the extra little side benefits you have. And then destroy the friendly troop to trigger backlash immediately if you need to. All of them have applications. It's very multifaceted and gives you a lot of decisions to make when you have the card in your hand. So yes, it's a good design. Not currently possible, but good.
Yeah, I think overall I do like it. I mean, once again, I would say in a way that that's an EG problem.
Yeah.
Kinda. So yeah, I would say a pretty cool thing overall. Pretty cool.
Hey, actually, you know what? I make this a rule to never ask about Warpforged, but I'm going to do it now. Can they do that in Warpforged? Have they fixed that in the next edition of the game, basically?
Let me think. Actually, let me think. Yes, they can. But it's so let me tell you how it is. They do it in no. It's not fixed. They do it the way I told you. So there's this warlord like Varo Tigurius, the Psyker, and essentially he chooses 3 cards, and then that gets added to your hand, and then you use it. So no.
Oh, so they've worked their way around it instead. All right, tell you what. You know what, friend? This is one case where purple cards might have made sense, whoever made this, simply to get around the fact that EG can't code to save their lives.
I guess so. I guess that's the thing. Fair enough. All right. So, next is yours.
Me, is it, right?
And it's from my favorite French boy, Orthonal. So he
All right,
finally
well.
decided to take part. Nice.
Hey, I'm going to immediately ruin his deck. No, so it's a 235 epic Raven Guard Warlord, Vicenti 6. Vicenti 6 is cousin, I suppose. He's the Primus Medicae. He's wearing Mark 7 Aquila armor. What's going on there, Orthanol? No, I'll stop being mean now. It says when a friendly unit deals damage to an enemy with sentence, give it 0/+1. That correctly formatted there for EG. 2 energy. The next time you heal up to 3 health or deal up to 3 damage this turn, repeat the effect.
Ooh.
See, that is a weird effect. I like it, but that is very strange because it's acting as a doubler up to 3, up to or down to. So it's kind of like a weird little support supplementary ability, which is very in keeping for an apothecary. Honestly, given how hard that is to trigger, it should probably be more powerful. You should probably up that to like 4 or 5, because if you don't have anything to support it, that is literally worthless. But it's a very cool, interesting place that I've not really seen anyone mess around with yet.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I like the passive. It's pretty cool because it's the first time I see a sentencing actually giving you health instead of dealing more damage. And I really like the effect to be honest, and I actually do also like the complication that it has that is not easy to do. But yeah, like in game it would be more visible whether it's not strong enough or not, but definitely a very interesting thing for sure. Gotta give him that. So yeah, pretty cool.
One way you could fix the fact that it's so like hard to trigger would be you could remove the this turn clause so that they persist. So even if you don't get the value immediately, you can sort of stock up on these doubles. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is from Archer, and we have Napoleon. So Alannoi, we already have Alannoi in the game, but now we have him as a warlord. So White Scar's Apothecary. When you trigger Streak and have troops in play, heal 1 to your units. If not, draw a card. And for 2 energy, create a random card with Streak and reduce its cost by 1. See, like creating a troop in your hand and reducing the cost is like textbook EG, and that's one thing I dislike about it because I'm so bored with those effects where EG just says, "Oh, create a unit." Like,
just vomit generic value into your hand. Yeah.
Yeah. I usually find that very boring because of how many warlords have it now. When only if 1 or 2 warlords have it, it's definitely interesting. But I like the streak one because whenever you trigger streak, so you either heal, and if you can't, for example, heal because there's your unit on the board, you draw a card. So essentially, if you used your 2 energy card draw streak card that you have, it would give you 2 cards. Pretty interesting. What do you think?
It's just not very interesting in what it does. It's what are you going to do? You're going to build a deck with streak in it, like every other White Scars deck. It's fine, but like you said, it's just a generic EG design of here's a thing, play the cards, generate more value with the active. Yeah. It's hard, to be fair to whoever this guy is, like White Scars are really difficult to design for because everything they do is toxic. So
Absolutely.
I do feel your pain, man, but like this is not a deck that would be any different from any of the existing White Scars builds.
All right, moving on then. In that case,
right.
Sorry,
I have Face Grafter. So apparently this one's kind of supposed to be a meme, but I actually quite like it. Did you say this one was a meme entry?
Can you guess who's this from? Just look at
well,
it.
Well, considering that the fucking like watermark on the front of the card is scuffed as hell, yeah, I think I can guess. I don't know his name, but it's Winking Man.
Yeah, it's Winking Man, of course. It's the
That's how we're gonna call him.
It's the psychopath. Yeah, the guy who and you know what I love the most? Mostly he submits these crazy cards, and he actually won. I love that he actually won one of our tournaments in 3rd place or 2nd. I don't know.
Well, it's genius and madness. There's only a fine line between.
Yeah. So this is so.
Weird. Yeah, I'll go. Sorry. Alpha Legion, 2 energy. It's a common 1/3 Astartes Face Grafter Apothecary, and it has Rally. Deal 1 damage. If the target survives, give it Duplicitous until your next turn. I love the flavor of this. So it is perfectly working with. So after the Istvan 5 drop massacre, Istvan 3, whichever one it was, the Raven Guard retreated, obviously, but they had Alpha Legion operatives inside them they didn't know because they cut off their faces and wore the Raven Guard's brothers' faces. This perfectly represents that. It's genius. It hurts, obviously, because you're slicing your goddamn face off. But if you survive, Duplicitus, you can't be attacked. I love this effect. Honestly, the one thing I might say is maybe Duplicitus isn't strong enough and it should be like Ward, even. But Duplicitus is very in-fitting and very flavorful with Alpha Legion. It's also a little like weak because you're taking 1 damage. Like, that does hurt. I would say, yeah, maybe a slight buff, maybe up to like a 1/4. But I love it. It's awesome design. No healing though, so it doesn't fulfill the category of the tournament technically.
Yeah, I mean, this is an amazing card. So he even told me, like, assuming I don't get disqualified, I'd like this to be my entry. And you know what? Yeah, I like. This is a pretty good card. It's just that considering it's an apothecary, but it's not. Maybe if it was like Duplicitous and +1 or something, would have been actually even better. I would say like
it would have weakened the flavor, wouldn't it? Though.
That's the problem with this card. It doesn't exactly meet the things that we asked for, but it's such a good card on its own. So crazy. Well, he did it again. What can I say?
You know what could have fixed it, actually? An active ability, because they were infiltrating the Raven Guard's Apothecarian. That was the whole point. They needed to shut down the Raptor project, so maybe a heal ability would have worked. But absolutely. Yeah, good card. But maybe not being legal. We'll see. No.
So next is from Checker, from our Fecund ones. So we already have 2 guys from Fecund ones submitting. That's already a thing. So maybe we
is Orthanol in Fecund ones?
Yeah. So
Orthanol... I should have been mean. I should have been meaner to him. Yeah, okay. Sorry, we have all these silly nicknames in the lodge at the moment. I have no idea who's.
We're definitely gonna be meaner next time. So
yeah, well.
And don't forget the mandatory French joke. But anyway, now this one.
Well, I've forgotten it already. Now it's too late. Anyway, sorry.
Actually, so Checker sent me like the bazillion times, and I hope like this is the correct one that I chose. But this is like Breathe in the Corruption. I love the art. I love the name. It's 1 energy. It's rare. I love everything about it. Now let's see what it does. Trigger poison of all units, and instead of dealing damage, heal your warlord for the same amount. You know what? This is very, very, very cool. I like it. The only issue I have with it is that it might be like so powerful that it might heal you like crazy. But then, this is what I was thinking. But then, think about it, Chad. If you're triggering the poison, it means that the counter is going down. So technically, if you, let's say you did Tides of Malady, and it gave poison 2 to everything, then you trigger it, you heal, you don't deal damage with the poison, and it's ticked down to 1 poison. So it also has a drawback as well. I like it. What do you think? I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was questioning why it was neutral initially, but then when I thought about it, I came to the same conclusion you did. Yeah, yes, you could play it in Death Guard in order to get a massive heal reliably, but you could also play it as a tech card against them.
Absolutely.
So any deck could use this as a silver bullet if Mortarion decks are getting out of control in the meta. Honestly, I love a lot of the ideas here, but I do question some of them because it's very polarizing in whether you're in that matchup or not. So as a tech card, it's not as good as it is as a Death Guard card, like design-wise. I would say, if I recall correctly, there was a single target version of this he submitted before. I think I would have preferred the single target version with maybe like a draw a card clause stuck on or something. But yeah, no, I do like it. There's some very interesting stuff going on there. The fact that it decreases the poison count, that's just handy, really, isn't it? Yeah. Not much else to add, really. Okay. Maybe it should have been maybe it should have been an epic, actually, though, because the effects are really weird. So, like, typically rarity correlates with complexity, except for legendaries, who are their own thing, because they actually have a mechanical difference to them, since you can only run 1 copy. Yeah, that's it, pretty much.
Okay. let's move on then. Pretty cool card, I gotta say. Oh my god, Shad.
One for me!
Yeah, this is from your arch nemesis, Liskian.
I have no nemesis.
No.
I love everybody equally. Except this man. One day, a zero-energy Imperial Army tactic saying, Shad will never accept your ideas. Deal 20 damage to your warlord. Create Perhaps in your hand. And Perhaps is a zero-energy purple with reflection. Shad made a tasteless joke and accepted your ideas? Heal everything completely and give it +5, +100. All cards in your inventory become premium. So, yeah, this is obviously a joke because this will never happen. I will never accept these ideas. So it's all just pie in the sky, really.
How about his actual idea, which is the next one?
Oh, is there a real one afterwards as well? You know what? We're just going to disqualify that one. I'm not even going to read it. No, okay. So, and is that one mine as well, then?
Yes, it is.
All right, Nurgle's Brew. Grandfather's Night Pot. I don't know what a Night Pot is. Oh, no, I do know what a Night Pot is. We call that... Oh, what do we call that? There is a word for that. Chamber Pot. We call that a Chamber Pot in England. Not that we use them anymore, because we're civilized. No.
So it's a cauldron, basically.
Well, I think what he means for a night pot, that's the thing that you used to have under the bed to shit in before we had indoor toilets. So,
my god.
Yeah, exactly. Good flavor. Pun intended. So it is a 4-energy Ruin Storm, rare, 2/7 with Poisonous 2. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, no, it is like Poisonous 2. It also has Can't Attack, and it's a structure with Vantage. That's an interesting combination of abilities that EG hasn't really explored yet, so kudos there. And the energy ability is 2 energy. Give an enemy poison 2 or heal a friendly unit by 3 and remove poison. So... overall, it's quite good. I reckon it should probably be a little easier to remove. Maybe make it down to like a 1/6 because like it's got the poisonous... It's got a lot of health. It's got a very strong ability. But you do have to, pay energy to use it. It's not free. So overall, yeah, it's a pretty solid design. Also, gross flavor. Well done.
Yeah, I gotta say I love the flavor on this one. I love the combination, and I love how it's a Ruin Storm card so that the Death Guard cannot abuse it. So, and in Ruin Storm, it's actually pretty interesting because Ruin Storm do have means of applying poison. It's just that it's not always present there. So yeah,
and they can't easily apply it to the Warlord either. I mean, you've got what's he called? The Warlord. Fuck, what's his name?
Korvax.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Korvax. Korvax can just jam poison on everything, obviously, but except the Warlord. So this one can. Yeah, it's I like it. It's decent.
All right. Next would be Talos Valkoran, and that's mine. So apparently, Nightlords are mine today. So this is from, I do believe, who's this from? I don't remember who this is from, but I will find you. No, I found it. It's from Venom Trooper. So this is Talos. We actually received 2 Talos for this concert, but not contest, not concert. So we're gonna start with this one. So 4 energy, 3/5 epic. Talos Valkoran, Apothecary, one of the more popular Nightlord characters, actually. So, Terror, Relentless, and Battle Honor heal 1 to your units, and an active ability to heal 2 can act again, but to a troop. So, it's an okay stat to have 4 energy, 3/5, a little low attack to be having Terror. To be fair, mostly the Terror is probably not going to trigger as much. The Relentless and Battle Honor makes sense. The healing is also pretty good. It's not abusive that it heals because it heals only troops. My only problem with this is that I think it's kind of weak. This could have been very interesting in the past where you had the Tigrus Exitus, where you could actually turn this permanently invisible and turn it into a heal bot, basically. But now I think it's a little bit on the weaker side, even though I do like the flavor. What do you think, Shad?
I think it's about where it should be, to be honest, because Terror is a disgusting mechanic. So the fact that it's a little understated for its cost, but considering the bevy of other abilities it comes with, I think that's about right. I reasonably like it, honestly. It's a little messy with the Relentless and Battle Honor and the conditional can act again heal abilities. Maybe I would like say make it heal 3 and remove the can act again clause, but that's just a mild little thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's fine.
moving on. Next is yours from Nova, Imperial Fists Apothecary.
Apothecary Peros, a 4 energy 3/4 with Bastion 2, and has an active ability, 0 energy, heal a unit based on its Bastion. If the unit is fully healed, excess Bastion will be returned. Okay, so that's a little unclear, but it's pretty. It's intuitive. You can guess what it's supposed to be. So if they have 3 Bastion, it'll heal them for 3, and then provided that they no longer have any missing health once that ability is finished, then it will give them the excess Bastion back. So if they would have healed, so if they only have 2 missing health but they heal 3, you get 1 Bastion back. Makes sense. I mean, it's fine, honestly. It's a 4 energy 3/6, so it's appropriately statted. Rough. Well, it's a little overstatted, technically. Well, no, it's about right. The ability is free, and technically, yeah, it's pretty decent, honestly. Converting the health to Bastion is usually not a good thing, but it obviously allows you to get in more attacks and maybe preserve a unit here and there. So it does have some uses.
Yeah, it's a little bit slow, to be fair. But honestly speaking, if you play it on Dorn, he's slow, so...
Yeah, but you don't want more slow on slow, because then you just get steamrolled. No, the thing is, the body is fine. So, like, it has the interesting, like, niche ability of the unit. You know what I'd say? Just maybe give it the opposite effect as well for like weird combos, so he can like damage if it's fully health already. It damages it down to 1 health and gives it all the Bastion instead. Nah, it's probably horrible. It'll just make it like a toxic combo tool. Be funny though. Be really fucking funny. Yeah, it just kind of doesn't really do much, does it? It's just a thing.
Yeah, that is pretty much what it is. Overall, pretty okay card. I can see playing that on drone, not Dorn, not drone. Okay, let's move on to a card from Carter, and he's a big Atesh Tirsa fan, and he actually sent Atesh Tirsa. He finally got a chance to do it. So, Apothecary, Atesh Tirsa, 5 energy, 3/5, Survivor 2, okay, and has Resolution, heal 2 to random friendly units. So, this is essentially like the Ultramarines Apothecary, basically. The only difference being that he also comes with Survivor, which kind of makes sense because it's a legendary, unlike
Flavor Fleet makes sense, but like power creeping an already good card is already not a. Just saying.
Well, then, yeah, that's absolutely a thing. And he has a backlash. Create Brother Sharokin in your hand. And Brother Sharokin is a purple card for 4 energy, which is deal 3 damage to an enemy and 1 to its adjacent units. Put in play Atesh Tirsa. Discard this card at the end of your turn. And so this basically means you could infinitely replay Atesh Tirsa, provided that playing Brother Sharokin makes sense during that turn. So if you were to have to do something else, then this card will just disappear. At the same time, if your hand is full because you're just replaying the same card over and over again, this happens. Or you just get jammed. He did send me a big excerpt from the lore to explain the flavor behind it, which makes a lot of sense. So essentially, he said the idea is simple. So if you do manage to play Sharokin, it means he saved Tirsa and put him in play again. And if not, then that's it. Tirsa is dead. So there you go. All right. So what do you think, Shad? I'll be honest. It's power creep. That's one problem that
it is
we have with it.
Yep.
But then again, Orphans of War are known to have power creep cards, like Cadmus Tyro, for example. And
well, that's like the thing. See, you're kind of right, but also they nerfed and toned down a lot of the power crept stuff after their introduction, and nowadays they're just fine. They're about where they should be. Some of them are even weak. So, and again, it's not an excuse to power creep these things. So, yeah, I disagree with that. I mean, it's already too strong, basically. If it didn't even have the backlash, this is just blatant power creep. So, no, but Yeah, no, if you upped it to like 6 energy or something, the only problem I have again is it's just got the clunky purple. I do get the flavor behind it though, which is quite neat. But I don't think you need it. Like my suggestion for the backlash there would be like backlash. Spend your remaining energy. Put Atesh Tarsa in play with health equal to the energy spent. That's what I'd do. So that way, like if you've got some energy spare and you leave yourself with a little bit left during your opponent's turn, Atesh Tarsa will come back. But if not, he's gone for good. Like that would represent the same effect very easily. Also, it could just be like a backlash, like add a Raven Guard to your hand, so he doesn't have the toxic recursion thing going. Yeah, up this to like 6 energy, maybe down to a 3/4, and it would be fine. Because the fact it can just pop back up all the time is the danger. Oh, it's not even conditional. You don't even have to kill anything with Brother Shuriken. You just have to play it. Yeah, no, I don't like this design. This is just the defense force with extra steps.
All right, then. In that case, moving on. And now you finally get the Nightlord card from Zinch or Seer.
Ah, okay. So this is from that awesome set of art. I forget the name of the artist, but he's been doing custodian queries to all of the different legions, which is an awesome bit of flavor. I don't think in the lore they actually did wear the colors of the legion, but it's a great idea. So I'm fine with it. Nosan DesmodDonai. It is the Custodes Query to Conrad Kurz, a 9 energy 11/7 legendary. So big chunky boy. It's got Terror and Rally. For each triggered murder in this match, heal 2 to your Warlord. As well as its own murder ability of Murder. Give your Warlord +2/+0 and heal 3.
Ooh, scary.
So it's a little unclear whether heal 3 is supposed to heal this or the Warlord. Probably the Warlord, but it's unclear. Also, heal shouldn't be capitalized. But yeah, let's see. So here's the thing. It's a control tool in Nightlords. That's quite interesting. But it does force you to use Murder as a build-around mechanic. So, compared to... Yeah, sorry?
I mean, I could see you playing this on Control Conrad, honestly.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. It is interesting. It's, yeah... I mean, the obvious point of comparison would be to the Raven, but honestly, despite their mana costs and rarity, they do completely different things, because one is a finisher, and this, there's no flank, there's no, fast, there's no immediate damage to the enemy Warlord, so it is a completely different card. It is a defensive card, so yeah, it's quite interesting.
I like it, to be fair.
Yeah, honestly, for what it is, it's not bad. I wonder whether the Murder trigger should be different. Like the Rally should be, because Murder is just a bit... It very much forces you down a certain deck style, and I wonder if there could be a different thing you could trigger.
Maybe Terror?
You know what? Maybe for each point of overkill you've scored during this game. So it synergizes with Murder, yes, but it also encourages you to be absolutely brutal to other things, and any Warlord or troop can still boost it up a bit. You probably want to nerf down the healing a little bit, though, or just make it heal equal to the overkill you've committed this game. Heal equal to your war crimes. Very Nightlords.
That's pretty cool, actually, yeah, if you think about it.
Yeah, I do like it. It's for a Nightlords card, that is not bad. You know what? You're one of the good ones.
Absolutely. Raziel comes next.
Oh, yeah.
The Final Rite Chaos Ritual, 7 energy. Destroy all friendly cultists. Heal your Warlord equal to their combined HP. And deal damage to the enemy Warlord equal to half of their combined attack. If you destroyed exactly 6 cultists, your next Chaos card costs 0 this turn. Ooh. You know what? I actually like cards that push the cultists play a little bit more. Because the cultist mission is still...
really bad.
Really bad, if you ask me. So I think this kind of card would make the cultist archetype way more playable. So I definitely love to see something like this in the game. Doesn't seem to be way too powerful because it's 7 energy, and cultists usually don't have very high attack unless you let them stack the bonuses. So overall, I think it's pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's what a legendary should be. It's big, it's flashy, it's something you build a deck around. Yeah, it's very flavorful. Obviously, all the cultists do a ritual mass suicide. Drink the Kool-Aid, and suddenly a big greater demon or whatever it is you slap down afterwards is there. So yeah, I like the flavor. Only thing I do
Mm-hmm.
dislike a little bit is the half of their combined attack thing. That's just feels very, I don't know, bitty. Like it's hard to calculate. It adds integers and other strange things like that. Maybe change that to like a flat number. 2 per their combined attack. Sorry, 2 per cultist or something like that. Yeah, actually, that would probably work a lot better because that would incentivize you to play low cost chaff and throw it all away and murder it, which is basically what cultists are all about. So yeah, that would be my change to it anyway. Not fix, but change. Yeah, I do like it. Cool concept.
Okay, so next is yours, Shad. It's from Zvoxis. It's Kugath Plaguefather. And actually, before
Okay.
we continue, I'm actually surprised, I'm gonna say, that we don't have like characters like Kugath and Kairos and Kabanda what's Nakari, right? Is the Slanesh one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that we don't
wa-
have them.
I wonder if they have the rights. Maybe that it's a rights issue because they very specifically
Oh yeah,
have
could be.
Horus Heresy access. So I don't think if they don't appear in any Horus Heresy books, I don't think they're allowed to use them.
Maybe we'll see them
But
in Warforge. Okay, so
yeah, great. We can see more butchered mechanics for them there. Yeah, so Kugath Plaguefather, a neutral chaos demon. That I always love to see that. Hate seeing things gated to Ruinstorm. It is a 0/10, which seems very low for a 10 cost, but all become clear shortly. So it has the Greater Demon tag, obviously. Maintenance 4, which is a lot. Relentless heal 2. But, and here's the interesting part, troops attack is equal to their health. So it's, there was a card that did this in Hearthstone in the classic set, and I can't remember the name. Light Elemental or something?
Yeah, the light elemental had
Something
that
like that.
always its attack was always
Yeah.
equal to its health, but
And this is the same effect, yes. And it specifically says troops. Very good catch there. If you just made that units, your warlord would be hitting for like 50 to 20. It would be bad, or your Titan weapons. But yeah, no, it's a 10 energy 10/10, but it provides it does a weird, interesting thing. So I do like that. The only thing I would say maybe is lower the cost a bit because yes, it's a 10/10, but it degrades. So. And again, it's a demon, so they should all be roughly around the same ballpark of energy. So with maintenance 4, I'd say this could be like a 7 cost card, probably. You're going to be summoning this off Marks of Chaos most of the time anyway.
no, this is pretty cool. I love the art, by the way. The old style art is like
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Yeah, it's a very good design. I really like it. I love it. It's different. It's innovative in a way. But yeah, I think that it could be cheaper. Yeah, absolutely. That's the only thing. Very good card. Very, very good card. Okay, next is from Yura, and I believe I'm doing this one. So it's Hathor Mat, the Magister of the Pavoni. He has the purple card of Oath of Fulgrim, Psyker 1. When you play a Psychic Power, heal 1 to a random friendly troop. And for 2 Psyker, you can heal 2 to a friendly unit, and if this unit is at full HP, it gives it +1 instead. So it's very similar to what the original Hathor Mat does, but it's more interesting because that Hathor Mat just had like, use all your Psyker to heal all your HP, basically. And he has the Oath of Fulgrim. Give to your troops in hand, perfection, generate 2 Psyker. That is so cool. It's very lore friendly as well because this guy carried the Oath of Moments made by Fulgrim. Well, I think he had it on like basically on his armor or something. So very, very good flavor for sure. And I love implementing perfection into Thousand Suns. That is so awesome. I think it's a pretty good card. I just think that maybe the Warlord itself is not that strong because I think if Psychic Powers could also heal your Warlord, it would be really good. I don't think it should be only Troop because there's only so many Psychic Powers that you're going to play during the game, especially considering how Psyker heavy this Warlord is because he wastes Psychic Power on his ability instead of energy. I would even say if this targeted units and healed 2, it would still be fair. So, Shad, what do you think?
Ironically, I actually disagree with you on this guy being more interesting than the original EG version. He's more complex, but I don't think that makes him more interesting. It's The problem is, again, it's what we ran into earlier with the what was it, the White Scars Warlord? It's how is this different from any other Thousand Suns deck that you will build? You will play all of the best value troops. You'll play a few psychic powers because the psychic power payoff isn't really that high, and that's pretty much it. You'll just play a control-y value game, and yeah. Only difference really is you probably want a bit more card draw and troops to try and jam some more value out of the Oath of Fulgrim, but it's not really enough to be worth building around because it's a one-shot purple effect. Like, it's...
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't incentivize any original way of playing, that's for sure.
No, the old Hathor mats with the Can Act Again, it was simplistic, but it actually did create a very sort of hard control late game survival. If you can just keep on stacking psychic, you will live. And it meant that you wouldn't run as many psychic powers. You'd really emphasize the psyker, and you try and play slow and build back because the deck, the ability does nothing to hurt your opponent. So it's not an aggro deck. It's the opposite. It's just value. It's just another value deck. It's fine though. There's some interesting stuff going on here. I like the Oath of Fulgrim's flavor because obviously he was seconded to the Empress Children. Yeah. Also, a few format issues. Hathor mat is centered in the top left. That shouldn't be a thing. There, EG don't do that. Otherwise, the wording's pretty much fine. Yeah, he even bolded the purple, which is quite nice. It's EG don't always do that. They're inconsistent, but it's nice to see.
All right, let's move on. And before we move on, Shad, this card is from Nope, and it has a custom ability. Demon Singer. He actually even made such a cool icon for it. And what it does is that it triggers when you put in play a demon or when a friendly unit gains demon host. So it's yours.
Cool. All right. Vorneth, a 5 energy word bearer's apothecary Astartes with 4/5 stats, so a little understated for its cost. And it has Battle Honor. Put in play a random lesser demon. That's one hell of a Battle Honor, but a good one. It is understated after all, so you need to work for it. It also has the Demon Singer ability that we talked about before, which is Heal 2. So it says Heal 2, doesn't specify where, so that means it heals itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's kind of like one of those, if you can stick it on the board, it'll start snowballing value because it'll heal itself back up a bit. Kind of like they have a 3 energy 3/4 that does something similar, of like whenever you battle on something, it heals and gets a demon host. Demon Singer is neat. It's a neat little bit of like keywording. It streamlines things a lot. It's definitely something EG could consider as a mechanic for them.
I mean, word bearers do need some support, that's for sure.
Yeah,
by far
it's fine. It's very feast or famine is the thing. So 5 energy 4/5 is shit stats, obviously. So if you don't have the board and you play this isn't going to win you the board back very easily or very well. Because you're overpaying, and if you have the board already, you're going to win even harder.
Yeah, so, you know when this would have been a very good card back in the day when there was 0 cost escape vent.
Oh yeah, that would have worked very nicely.
Yeah, overall.
But again, there's. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go on. Go you first.
No, I don't have much else to add. I like the art though. That's very nice art. Yeah. You found that.
Honestly, I like the art. I like the Demon Singer keyword. I like the card as well. It's a little underpowered though. As Chat said, it can end up being a win more card because whenever you put this down on the board, there's a low chance it survives, and if it survives, that means you're already winning the game. So it's kind of
even worse, you have to roll the dice and try and casino a flank demon host ability out of it, and then then you're winning even harder because of the random bullshit that word bearers can pull. So again, you're being constrained by the initial design of EG because word bearers' design is bad. I will fight anyone who disagrees with me on that.
Yeah,
they're bad faction.
Absolutely. He also submitted a meme card, not frogs. Not the frogs. Oh no,
not the frogs.
Oh my god, you guys, where do you guys get this shit, man? I don't even know. My wall.
Destroy all troops. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
And put in place 6 premium plague toads for players. It's even a premium plague toad.
Yeah.
And the best part is the one on the picture is obviously also premium. You know, like,
Yeah.
where do you guys come up with this shit?
You know what I'm going to say though as well. I like this better than his actual entry. I mean, it's not legal because it doesn't heal, so it's not actually part of the contest. But I do like this design a lot. It's just good. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, absolutely, it is. It's
And
pretty
quite funny
cool.
as well. Yeah, if you just renamed it to like Plague of Frogs, then that'd be perfect. You know, and art that doesn't have teacher's beautiful face on it.
Oh my god, this is like nuts. Anyway, moving on. Next one's from Oleg, and this is the bless of Nurgle. Probably should be blessing of Nurgle. Shad is already getting angry.
Triggered.
So 4 energy, epic, give to a friendly Astaris 0+1, poisonous 1, and relentless, fully heal this troop. This reminds me of the thing that we used to have for Death Guard, the thing that gave it
Plague
very
Marine.
high health. Yeah, Plague Marine, and when you would put like Mark of the other buff, Nurgle's Chosen, on it. It's a simple buff, honestly. It's just made to make a unit much more powerful. So it basically creates a Plague Marine. Plague Marine never really used to be a good card, to be honest.
No.
But it was a little combo-y. If it succeeded, it was funny. But yeah, overall, I would say like a pretty interesting thing, a throwback to the old Death Guard, but not like something that is like either bringing in something new, or I'm not even sure if I would use it, but it would definitely maybe make different type of control Death Guard possible.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting card, but it is way too weak. Like 4 energy for that effect is way too low. That's you got to remember. So poisonous 1 in a vacuum, and you should consider it in a vacuum really, because it's, you know, you don't want to slap this on something that's expensive and has a shit ton of poisonous already. It's that's basically a 1/1 buff, like for 4 energy, and the relentless, while it's nice to have like a little benefit, you can't rely on that going off. It's not in a game that's full of removal and is as fast as this is. So this is a 2 energy card, not a 4 energy card. Maybe even lower, to be honest. Yeah, also obviously it should be the Blessing of Nurgle or just Blessing of Nurgle, but you know, that's a little quibble. But yeah, they're too weak, way too weak, but not a bad design otherwise.
Absolutely. Okay, ZK Gaming, Apothecary, that's yours.
Apothecary Neus, yeah. G is silent. Neus, 4 energy, 3/5. Apothecary Antonian Neus, 3rd Great Company. Did the Ultramarines organize in great companies? Yeah, whatever. When you play a practical, heal all of your units by 2. And 2 energy, create a practical in your hand and reduce the cost of all practicals in your hand and deck by 1.
Nice.
Yeah, so 3 energy, 3/5, same stat line as the other Apothecary, although it's cheaper, so that makes sense. It's combo oriented. The problem is that, you know, Ultramarines don't really run many of the practicals or the theoreticals. They're not really that much of a payoff. So he exists for an archetype that doesn't exist. That's kind of the problem. It's not a bad design. The active ability is kind of just there, really. The fact it creates one in your hand is nice, though. You know what? He needs a rally that also creates a practical in your hand, though, I would say. Because right now, it's 4 energy for a 3/5 that does nothing. So, you know. Yeah. Cool card, but not really well balanced. Just weak and a bit fiddly. And doesn't really play in any deck that would work.
Yeah, I think the problem that this card suffers from is what you've already said, and you said it like very well. It's that it's a
combo piece.
It's a combo piece for an archetype that doesn't exist. So
Yeah.
that's probably the problem.
Yeah.
You know?
You're playing with failed game mechanics.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So that's the only problem. But other than that, it's pretty cool. Nice stats, nice ability, overall pretty good. Okay.
All right. Yours next, I believe.
Yeah, next one is mine. There's the First Aid Squad. That's from, I believe, Simon Policier, Fragile Phoenix. 3 energy, 2/2, Solar Auxilia, rally, heal 1 to a friendly infantry, At the end of your turn, if this is damage, return both units to your hand. Wait.
I'm actually in the server with the guy who, or girl, I don't remember, who made this, and they explained what the flavor is, if you're interested.
Wait, I'm just first trying to figure out. So essentially you heal something and then it returns into your hand, like if this is
At the end of the turn, yeah.
Oh,
so the reasoning behind
okay.
it is
Go on.
it's a first aid extraction unit. So that should probably have been put in the little text on the right. It should have been like first aid squad extraction unit or something. So it goes in there, stabilizes the patient, and then extracts them. I get that, but I still don't especially like the design personally. Do you have anything to add to it first before I go all in?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, but I get what the idea is that it's trying to take. It's as you said, it's an extraction squad. It's taking stuff back and overall, but it's a little bit weird. Yeah, I like the idea, but I don't think it has many cases where you would play it unless you really want to abuse something that has a good rally, which is possible.
Yeah, but it's so slow and it's so specific. So yeah, there's a lot of strange things going on here. Honestly, if you want to keep it the way it is, this probably should have just been a tactic, not a troop. Also, like the random solo auxilia stuff on it, I mean, I'm not a fan of tribal design as a rule, but it has its place. But this thing's art. Solo auxilia is a very specific thing, and it's not wearing the void hardened armor that they always wear. It's just wearing like, I don't know, slightly weird modified Kazakin looking stuff, Cadian stuff. So it should just be a generic Imperial Army unit, to be honest.
Yeah,
one of the suggestions I suggested on the card making server after they confirmed that they'd submitted it and they weren't changing it, just to be clear, I always make sure that I don't offer any suggestions or anything until they're absolutely locked in, just because it wouldn't be fair. Obviously, not everyone's on the card making server. But the one I suggested for this would be skip the sort of weird timing resolution effect thing it's got going on, and also make it not specific to friendly infantry, because that just makes the card very narrow in what you can do with it. I would say have it be rally, return a friendly unit to your hand, heal your warlord equal to its health. So the more that you return to your hand, then the more value you get out of it for it healing. It's a one-use effect like that. And then, oh, wait, no, that's not true, actually. Sorry, no, what I did say was rally, heal 3 to target unit, and then I think it should have a resolution ability to represent the extraction, where it says return your lowest health troop to your hand. So if you have nothing else in play, the first aid squad bounces back to hand, and you can loop it, keep on using it that way. If there's something else that is injured, it will bounce that instead. Things like that. So it functions as an extraction unit as long as it's on the field, or you can loop it. It gives you a lot of different options you can do with it gameplay-wise. That would have been my fix.
Absolutely. All right. Next one is yours. And before we actually get there, let me see who that's from. That is from... Who's that from, actually? Wait. Oh my god. Let me search for it in the mail. Oh, it's for Imanil. Okay. All right. Go on.
Primaris detected. Purging. No. No, it's fine. Ishidur Osuros, a Blood Angels Warlord, 235, medium initiative, a Legion Master. When this unit has 0 or less health, destroy a random friendly Blood Angels Astartes and gain Survivor equal to the current health of the troop. So... yes, and 2 energy active ability, deal 1 damage. If target die, put in play Drakia's squad. So there's a few wording issues there. But this seems oddly familiar. I'm 90% certain that this, in a previous form, this one's better worded, but a different version of it, was actually submitted for the very first card contest creation before we started doing it, like ages ago, like 3 years ago or something, I swear. It had like Pirate and Alder Godric as... judges. I don't remember. It didn't last. I don't think there was a second one. They only did the one. But yeah, no, it's a similar idea. Very similar concept. So, Imanil, if you also made that, and I'm remembering correctly, then that'd be interesting. I didn't know you were all the way active back then. But yeah, so I don't know if EG Spaghetti Code would handle what you want the first passive to do, but I do get it, and it's interesting. So you have to completely wipe him out before you can kill him. The board has to go. You can't just snipe the Warlord out, which is interesting. Not always going to be that relevant, to be honest, though, because 90% of the time when you kill your opponent, you're doing so because you've completely dominated the board and are just murdering the hell out of them. So, yeah. But it's got some applications. The active ability is interesting as well. Dealing 1 damage if the target dies. It actually deal 1 damage if the target dies. Put in play Drakia's squad. So small thing there. Also, you don't need the colon after the energy. E.g., don't bother with that. They just put it after keywords, not energy costs. But yeah, that's fine. It's got some applications for a Requiem build because you'll get the flank ability, the flank troops, and you can immediately, throw them at something. I don't like how random that is, though, because, well, not random, but the placing is weird. Because you don't get to choose where spawned units go. They always go on the side with the least troops, and it's just very strange where they appear sometimes. It's fine, but it's just a bit janky in a lot of places.
Yeah, there is the jankiness moment. Other than that, pretty interesting. I mean, does kind of work. If you look at the art, the bloody guys that are just standing there. It does make an interesting... It holds an interesting idea. Overall, I think it's pretty all right. So it's kind of also maybe pushing aggro a little bit because you're just dropping Drakeos squads. But I think when you play Drakeos squads, they will not be able to activate the flank. I think they'll
have flank. They just won't have
flank.
Fast, right?
They don't have fast. Yeah, that's what I meant. So maybe it's not an aggro one. It's more
it's
control,
not an aggro
maybe.
Tool. Yeah.
Overall, an interesting idea for sure. So Immanuel actually had a couple of very good ideas. He also won with Meros, I remember. So there was one. There were some cool stuff. Okay, next one is the Big Black Knight. Could have changed one word there. Okay, so Talos. Sorry, Talos. Talos Valcora. So exactly the same art because, well, I mean, there's only that many Talos pictures available. So when friendly unit triggers murder, heal 1 to friendly units. Murder your next troop costs 1 energy less, and 2 energy deal 3 damage to a troop. Oh, and this is a warlord. Ooh.
Remind me, murder only triggers on combat damage, doesn't it? So his active
only
ability
combat
wouldn't
damage.
trigger. Yeah, wouldn't
only
trigger
combat
That's
damaged unless it specifies. For example, the attack on Sugwalsa does trigger it. The tactic.
Oh yeah, right.
But I don't think the active ability would trigger it.
Yeah, it would need the murder ability nested inside the active ability.
I think this way it's better because otherwise it would be a little too strong. I think because like imagine that 1 energy reduction is pretty strong. It's like a drilling site every turn where you're able to trigger it. So certainly it's good that it's not there. It has the Abaddon ability. It's a control warlord for sure. With healing and all of that. Goes well with the 30 HP. I think it's fine. I think it's all right. There's a lot of Nightlord submissions today. I think it's all right. What do you think?
It's just kind of generic. Again, this runs into the same problem a lot of warlords do. What do you do with him? You load up on murder troops and you just play a value game. It's fine, but it doesn't do anything. Also, non-standard health typing there. Rare warlords have 230. Epic warlords have 235. Legendaries are 240. I mean, there are exceptions, but you need to justify an exception. And this guy, I mean, he's from Dan Abnett's trilogy, isn't he?
Yes, he is. I mean, Talos should not be 30 HP, I think.
Oh, is he? Yeah, he's quite a scary motherfucker, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
From what I've heard. Yeah, with the blinged out Blood Angel sword. I do like how the Blood Angel sword is giving the heal effect a little bit, though. Although that's also part of his apothecary status. So yeah,
absolutely.
Also, company apothecary should be capitalized.
Yeah, you can never hide that from Shad.
Yeah, never. 1E as well. I mean, technically, so that you can use either of these methods I'm about to explain when you're talking about energy in text. You can either use the energy symbol the same way that you have it for the 2 energy active ability below, or you can spell out 1 energy, but you can't do what you've done there, which is 1E. That's not shorthand that they use. That's informal. Yeah, he triggers his own murder abilities, which is nice, though, because it says when a friendly unit triggers. So I assume that was intentional. If not, you needed to specify whenever another friendly unit. But I think he is supposed to heal off his own murders, so
that
that's
makes
fine.
sense.
Yeah, buff him up to a 235, man. But he's fine, yeah.
Okay, next is yours. It's from Zermal, our Caliban boy, so take a look at that.
Oh, Typhon Alliance, right. Let's see. So that is a 6 energy legendary Defenders of Caliban card, a tactic, one of the first that we've had. We had a lot of troops. Sorry, there was another tactic before. It was the Arthesium one, wasn't there? And Chikas. But mostly troops, which is interesting. I was expecting more tactics. Typhon Alliance, 6 energy. Your warlord gains Relentless, steal 1 health from 2 enemy units. So yeah, perfectly functional there. It harkens back to the Leech Life ability and effect of Death Guard, mixing the two quite nicely. Yeah. Honestly, it's just kind of fine, really. It's a buffed up Medusan Carapace.
Yeah, and it costs more as well. The flavor makes sense because of the whole Luther Typhon and dynamics, so...
Worth noting, it can't hit the same unit twice, so it is actually slightly weaker in damage to the Carapace, although it's a bit more predictable, so that might be a good thing sometimes as well. But it only does 1 damage on an empty board against a warlord, for example. But yeah, I like it. It's fine. Yeah,
I actually quite like it, to be fair, because it's a fair card. It's not like something too crazy or something too...
Defense of Caliban, but fair. What is this?
I know, right? The guy made it happen, finally. So, there you go. He made a fair card for the most unfair faction. Okay, so...
Mazik the Unfixed.
Yeah, the guy fixed the unfixed. Okay.
Question, what is this? Who made this?
That one, the Typhon.
No, Mazik the Unfixed.
Oh my god. Sorry, but before we get to Mazik the Unfixed, there's Painful Ecstasy. You don't see it?
Huh?
Refresh it.
No, hang on. I'll refresh. Yeah, let's see then.
Unfixed. You gotta love the name.
Okay. Oh yeah. No, sorry. The folder was lagging. That was all.
Yeah,
okay.
It's fine. So this is Painful Ecstasy. This is from the Perturabo guy. And yeah, it's pretty simple. 3 energy epic. Your Astartes troops have Rage Heal 1. So if you have Carry 2, your Astartes are gonna have Rage Heal 1 twice, basically, right? So
yes, but also the wording is absolutely fucked. Like that is non-functional right now. What that is. So you are awarded 0 point. No, no. So obviously there's a spelling mistake, troops, but the main issue here is it's not specifying where and when and how and why these troops have it. So it's not saying this is a passive effect you'll have for the rest of the game. It's not saying your warlord gains this, which is what that would do. It's not saying your Astartes troops gain, so it's not like a temporary tactic that gives it all to the ones in play. So it completely fails to actually do anything. I mean, we can guess at what you meant, but who knows?
I think what he meant is that for the rest of the game they have it.
Do you think so? Because for 3 energy, that seems quite a powerful effect.
It is.
But yeah, no, I'm sorry, man. That's completely fucked. Get someone to check the wording on that time before you submit it.
I mean, honestly,
yeah, I'll go through it. So I'll should be okay. So if you want it to be a permanent effect for the game, it needs to be your warlord gains, and then you put the quotation marks in to sort of nest what the warlord is getting. Your Astartes you put in play, or your Astartes, either works, have Rage Heal 1. That would do the permanent effect. If you want it to be just Astartes that are currently in play, it would be your Astartes troops gain, not have, because have is just not the right tense. I don't even know my English well enough. I don't know explain exactly why this is wrong, but gain and have are very different words, basically, in English. And someone who's got a better English degree than me will be able to tell you why.
Overall, a little bit, as I'm not the wording police, I would say it's just too overpowered. That's the thing there. But there is one thing that I really do like. It synergizes well with the Emperor's Children mission. There's that, so...
I suppose.
So there's points for that, so... There you go. And it also makes sense. Painful ecstasy, and push
Yeah.
children.
Oh, yeah. The name makes sense. Yeah, and it's got a weird gimp mask on, so I suppose it's good art as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Sorry. No points. Yeah, no points for the gimp marine.
Then
All right,
let's move
my
on.
turn.
Yes.
Mazik the Unfixed. Good name there, mate. I'll explain why in a minute. 235 Epic Alpha Legion Warlord. He is an apothecary. He's a secret identity, of course, so you don't know who he is at the start of the game. Delta Order, which is a purple card, and 2 energy. Heal 2 to a unit and add a random trap to the enemy deck. If it was an enemy, your opponent draws a trap from their deck. Okay, also the purple card first. So secret identity, blah, 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 reveal your true identity, give +0/+1 to your units. That's a nice, flavorful secret identity reveal. I like that. And it's Delta Order, which is a secret order, a unique one to him. So you've probably given it a different name because Delta Order is an existing card, obviously. It says, when attacking a troop, first give it +0/+2 and heal it fully. So that's an interesting, flavorful one there. But yeah, first of all, mate. Okay, so Teach, help me out here. What is the name of the person who made this? I need to guess whether they are English or not. I thought this is a language barrier thing.
I don't know the actual name of the guy, but his in-game name is Malakash.
Okay, so yeah, in English, in England, I don't know if this is an American. Well, it might be. When someone is fixed or unfixed, we usually use that to refer to when a dog or a pet has had its reproductive capabilities removed. So I don't know if that was intentional or not, but maybe that shouldn't have been the name because it kind of ruins the effect.
Actually, Shad.
I have come for your testes.
Actually, Shad. Actually, that is.
You think that's intentional?
That's an actual character, and his actual name is Mazik the Unfixed.
You're kidding. Oh my god!
I'm not kidding.
What the fuck?
I mean, this is something.
Who wrote that book? Who is he? I'm gonna go to house and beat him.
I mean, I got like no idea. I got no idea what they were thinking when they named it that. But in this case, I'm talking about GW. But well, it is a thing.
If Games Workshop did it, I suppose that was the joke then, because they do still have elements of it already. Fair enough then. All right, Malakash, you're off the GW did this.
Yes, they did.
So actually, yeah. Actually, moving on to the mechanics then, there's some interesting stuff going on here. Heal 2 to a unit, add a random trap. Yeah, obviously, that's pretty good. If it was an enemy, your opponent draws a trap from their deck. See, the problem I see there is that's kind of easy to abuse because it doesn't specify you have to actually heal them. You can target a full health troop, and yeah, that'll just happen. So I don't know if that's intended or not. Yeah, there is some interesting mechanics, but again, it's just running into the regular stuff of how do you build this any differently from a regular deck. I suppose he has trap support, which is sort of they never really gave you a full dedicated trap warlord in Alpha Legion. They're all supposed to sort of play a little bit of it. None of them actually have like full on, this is the trap warlord. So I suppose there's that. Yeah, you know what? Actually, no, I take that back. As a dedicated trap warlord, he's kind of neat. And just using it on your opponent's troops that are already full health. It's given the fact that they've nerfed traps and modern traps are way weaker than the legacy ones, that's probably okay. Yeah, all right. You know what? I'll give it a seal of approval there. I don't know if he really needs the purple random Delta Order though. It's just like it's not a bad card by itself, but why is it there?
I'm just
maybe there's some more lore on him actually. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know much about his lore. I know that there's definitely a character like that I remember, but as I remember, I think this guy's from 40k. I'm not sure if he's from Horus Heresy Legions. We'll need to double check that, but as I know, I think he's from 40k.
Oh! Conducting experiments, including the creation of mutants known as the Geld, which is another word for, if you geld something, then you're removing its testicles. So, yeah
makes
fair
sense.
Enough.
Why he's unfixed. Now it makes sense. Either way, I love the Warlord. I'll tell you why. Because healing an enemy to make him draw traps, that is pretty cool. Overall, same agree with the Delta Order. Could have been a different order, but overall, pretty solid, I'd say. Nothing too crazy.
You know what, actually, what I would have liked maybe the heal ability had been changed from draw a trap to your opponent heals equal to the overheal or something like that. So if you overheal them, if you just heal them, then they draw a card or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's up for debate, but yeah, it's not a bad design. All right, sorry.
Okay, let's move on to Andres, and he sent another Hathor Mat, so we have a second Hathor Mat as well. So, cool. 2 energy 35, so once again an epic, Unstoppable Flesh Change, Psyker 1, heal 2 to a friendly unit, and heal 1 to a different random friendly troop. That is pretty cool. And Unstoppable Flesh Change is a 4 energy purple, your Warlord gains Psyker 2 and Relentless, take 1 damage. Also, replace Warlord's active ability with 2 Psyker, deal 1 to 3 damage to an enemy troop, and heal the same amount of damage. Or destroy a friendly troop and heal to what? Wait.
Yeah, it's a different effect depending on if you target an enemy or
destroy a friendly troop and heal 2.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. If you start your turn with 9 energy, this card automatically plays with 0. Oh, so once you get to 9 energy, this automatically gets played, signifying that at some point it was like unstoppable because flesh change, you know. I have like with these Hathor Mats, the healing things I have a bit of a problem with once again. So in order to get the full effect of that heal, you need to have 2 troops there on the board. If not, it doesn't really play for full power. So his ability is kind of weak because he also has to target only troops, not a warlord. And when he transforms,
yeah, the problem with all of these Hathor Mats that I see is they just don't do anything. They're just like, how will this affect your deck building? It won't. You'll just play it exactly the same as you would any other thing. What I think for a Hathor Mat is he needs to incentivize like a different deck style. He needs to incentivize playing healing cards, I'd say. So like he should have a passive that says whenever you heal a unit, gain that much Psyker, for example. That'd be quite interesting. So like 2 Psyker, heal 1 to a friendly unit, and that passive. Suddenly you've got a different deck. You're running like weird neutrals that heal you and doing all kinds of strange stuff to interact with Psyker. It wouldn't be a huge variance, but it would be a different deck build at least. And this guy's got like a random purple again. Like it just. There you go. Link it into this healing again. The Unstoppable Flesh Change thing should have been like your wall gains whenever a friendly unit is healed, gain +1 attack. Like permanently, so he gets more and more unstoppable as he goes, and
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and the random clause of getting to 9 energy and suddenly 0, it's just why? Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't spark joy.
Okay, moving on. Next one's yours.
Oh, great! Yeah, give the gay guy the thing about the women. Here we go. All right, so in recent controversies, we have a legendary card called Seacher's Scheme, which is insisting that there have always been female custodians. The secondary text says this is not fucking canon. I refuse to comment on this matter. It says, put in play 5 female custodies. Your opponent gets a copy of Emperor Enraged in their hand. And Emperor Enraged says 10 energy, I should have aborted Magnus.
Oh my god.
The Emperor's homoerotic paradise is in peril. That poor man. Deal 10 damage to all units. If they are female, deal 1,000 damage instead.
and the female custodians themselves, take a look at those.
Yep, they are 9 energy, front line, with rage, turn enemy Astartes, female or non-binary, and stun male warlords. With 100 stats. And they are the typing chaos/female. You know what? Kudos to you for actually formatting this properly by actually giving it a type. Because if you want to specify that something is female, it needs to either have a type or a subtype tag. So well done. Well done for your shitpost. You did it properly.
Very well. Now for the actual submission by Legit Sniper.
Oh, what? The homoerotic paradise wasn't the actual submission? Boo!
No, it was
Boo,
not.
good sir.
And it's another Nightlord. Yay.
All right, Apothecary Nihilus. Cool art, by the way. That
Very
is
cool.
5 energy, 4/5. Nightlords. It has stealth. Remove poison and heal 3 to a random friendly unit when you trigger murder. You know what? That's quite interesting because it's purely passive, no active abilities whatsoever. So obviously the problem here is it needs setup, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. And the fact that it has stealth and no terror always pleases me because like it's just such a hard mechanic to balance around. Stealth and terror together is utter cancer. Don't do that. So well done.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
Yeah, it's neat. I don't know if it would be played. I don't think it's really got enough power to it. One problem as well, though, is it is, again, kind of relying on the snowball effect, because to have this trigger, realistically, you need another troop to be in play and ready to attack. And once you attack with it, it will cement your lead by healing a damaged unit. And, yeah, it just kind of causes that knock-on effect.
No.
It also doesn't specify whether it heals a friendly unit or a friendly undamaged unit. So technically, you could whiff the heal and it could hit something that's already full health. Probably not intended. Issue. Yeah, and well, EG are sloppy with that particular aspect as well. So, you know, we can assume that it was meant to be just it heals something undamaged. Yeah. Any other thoughts on that one?
No, it's a pretty good card. I just like it.
I like the art. So that's the best part.
Absolutely. All right, moving on. So the next is Little Gray Dog. Regulus, 3 energy, 2, 3, 4 Mechanicum. Warmaster's representative. Oh yeah, Regulus appears even in, I think, book 1 already, if I remember correctly. Gain +1/+1 when you put in play a vehicle. The resolution heal 2 to the lowest health friendly unit. That's so good. Huh. I think that's like pretty good.
That's a nice little piece of vehicle synergy. Yeah, I like that.
This is like literally a very good card, just like that.
Yeah, and the fact that it's lowest health friendly unit, I was going to say technically that means it can heal the Warlord, but it actually can't because Regulus, even if he's undamaged, will always have lower health, so it won't actually hit that. You probably need to clarify that that is heal 2 to the lowest health damaged friendly unit. Otherwise, it's going to like whiff a lot of the time and heal himself. Actually, no, he does get bigger and chunkier as you play vehicles, so I suppose, yeah. Other than that slight issue, yeah, I really like this. Do you like this as well, Teach?
Absolutely like it.
Yeah, it's a cool synergy piece. Understated, but with like it's cheap enough that you can immediately, you know, buff it to a decent stat line.
All right. Yeah. What's next?
I like it. I like it a lot, actually. Let's see. All right, mine. Let's see. Septicitus Ripe. That is a fantastic name. 5 energy, 4/7, Chaos Epic. A demon, of course. Has maintenance 2, poisonous 1, and resolution heal 3 to your wall. You know what? It's simplistic, but it's something that the game needs because it doesn't have just like a generic, like nice healed unit control tool. You pay for that maintenance ability to get the healing on the Warlord consistently. One thing I would say is maybe that shouldn't be resolution. That should be rally plus relentless, because the interplay between maintenance and relentless is really interesting since it gives your opponent a choice. If they leave it around and force you to pay the maintenance, that's not good for you, obviously. But also, if it has a relentless, you're also guaranteed to get that. So it becomes a trade-off for them to think about rather than it being objectively correct in some cases to just stun the thing and leave it alone, or leave it on like 2 health, or just ignore it and screw up your energy curve, basically. Yeah, but yeah, I do like it. Yeah, same. It fills a good role.
Once again, a very, very good card. 2 very good cards. And last but not least, from Ozzy, Expired Combat Stims, 2 energy reflection, give a friendly troop poison 2, and relentless heal 2. Ooh. All right, so basically you poison it, but it also gets a relentless heal. So after some time, the poison will turn into a healing. I wonder if this was supposed to be a unit and not a troop.
No, well, what I think this is I kind of get where he's going and what he was trying to do. I just don't think it's done very well. So, like, it's a cool idea. The idea is you get the healing now, but it will eventually kill you and the backlash will damage you. So the problem was he stuck a relentless trigger on it. If it was just heal 2 and give poison 2, that would have some interesting applications, particularly with the reflection.
Yeah, maybe could use a little bit fixing up, But
Yeah.
an interesting idea for sure.
Yeah.
Once
A few
again,
formatting things as well. Combat stims aren't capitalized, and 40k stims are double M, but it's like a made up word, so do what you want with that. Won't fault you for not getting a made up word correct.
absolutely. Okay, those are all, Shad. So let's begin.
All right. What's your? Do you have a short list in mind already?
Yes. Let me give you my favorite ones. And you're gonna be surprised because I like a lot of Nightlord ones. So
Well, no, the Nightlords were quite good today.
yeah.
This week.
I like the DesmodDonai. I really like that.
Oh yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah.
I really like on top of that, I really like Regulus. Very, very solid. I like veteran Apothecary Nihilus a lot. I also like Typhon Alliance for its simplicity, to be honest.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's an okay one for sure. I also like where was that card? Nurgle's Brew. Also, I like it. I like the Final Rite because, well, I already mentioned the whole cultist extravaganza. But other than that, maybe I'm missing a few here, but those are some of my top picks.
See, my main problem is that the two cards I like the most aren't eligible. Face Grafter and the Toe Drain. I like both of those the most out of all of them in here, but neither of them actually fill the requirements. You hit most of the good ones that I think, like the top picks. I also liked Tainted Narthecium, Breathe in the Corruption, Lancerhigh's Den, and where is it? Septicitus Ripe. But it's. I think you hit most of the contenders. What would you say is top pick potentially for you, number one?
So which one?
Yeah, what would you say is top pick out of all of the ones you considered? Like, who's in contention for first place?
Hard one. Regulus is very good. Ripe is very good for number one. And I'm going to go ahead and say DesmodDonai as well. Pretty good.
Yeah, I like DesmodDonai. What else is...
For number one, I think those take my cake.
I'd say Breathe in the Corruption is in contention.
For top pick that's also pretty good.
I do like that. Yeah, it's for me at least. It's between those two. I don't see any others that I love as that much. Regulus is good, but I don't know if it's top one. Maybe top two.
So let's vote for number one, and maybe we'll then add some candidates for number two.
So what? Which ones are we putting in the contention one then? So what? Breathe in the Corruption, DesmodDonai, anything else?
Regulus, perhaps.
Regulus, perhaps.
Nah, probably not. Probably Septicitus Ripe more.
Yeah, I like the flavor. I like the mechanics for Regulus, but the flavor isn't quite there because, like, yes, vehicles make sense, but why is he healing especially?
Absolutely,
yeah. Unless there's something from the lore.
Kugat is also really good, but it doesn't go for number one for me. One thing that I really like about DesmodDonai is that it also does push the it really does push the control Nightlord style, which is really good.
Yeah, it's interesting to see a legendary that's that chunky but isn't like an instant win. That's not really a thing that you see very often these days, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a rare thing. Hard as always. Who do you give your vote to? And we might.
In the end, I think I will say DesmodDonai take over Breathe In because it's just Breathe In has the problem of it being very like polarizing. You know, in certain matchups it will dominate, but if your opponent's not playing poison, it will do essentially nothing. So if if you want to avoid that problem in the future, what you need to do is put an alternate clause on it, maybe. So, like, it says, if no units have poison, draw a card. So it becomes just a one energy cycle. So it's not as good. Obviously, there are better 1 energy cycles in the game than that, but it won't be dead in a matchup where there's no poison. And obviously, it's always applicable in Death Guard, but, you know, it is a neutral. You did make it a neutral, so you need to account for that as well. But yeah, it's still cool. Still a cool design. But yeah, I think DesmodDonai is superior in this case.
Then DesmodDonai for number 1.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely.
Second place then. I forgot to mention Mazik the Unfixed. It should be in, like, he's in contention for the top 3 somewhere. I don't think he's number 1 because, like, the random purple seems a bit strange and, like, it's questionable how much of a deck you'd build around him. But he's kind of a trap warlord a bit. Yeah. But yeah, so what about second place? Who would you say is top running? I think, well, obviously Breathing the Corruption's somewhere.
Breathing the Corruption, Septicitus Ripe is also very good.
Yeah. If Lancerhigh's Den was better formatted, then I think maybe that would be place,
that's also really good.
Yeah, it is cool. I like the effects. What else is there? I suppose, yeah, so Regulus, Septicitus Ripe, Mazik, and
maybe Final
Lancerhigh.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, probably Lancerhigh. Lancerhigh is also really good.
Final Right's fine, but it's just kind of... I don't know. It's very niche.
I think in full honesty, I think Ripe is very good because it really gives the game what it needs right now.
Well, yeah, control tool. Yeah. My god. Yeah, again, I feel like it would be better Relentless instead of Resolution on the ability. Rally and Relentless because you need the immediate heal. Otherwise, it's not a good control tool. But yeah, I do like it. Yeah, it's just a good, solid troop that provides efficient healing
in a
way that doesn't screw you. Is there anything else that's in contention?
I mean, there's a lot of good stuff, but I really do like that for number 2.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as number 2 then. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's stick that in 2. So third place then.
Ooh, this is gonna be a hard one.
Yeah, is this where we put the Breathing the Corruption, or
either that, either Lancerhigh's Den.
I do like Lancerhigh's, yeah.
I really do like also Nihilus and Typhon, but I think they're a little bit off from these 2 choices.
Which one's Nihilus? Oh, yeah, no, I like it, but I don't like it enough. It's very clunky, and it doesn't... you need other board setup for it to actually heal, which seems odd at times.
I also like Kugath, but once again, Kugath also has some things. Nurgle's Brew is also alright.
Yeah, Kugath has a few problems. No, which one? Oh, hang on, which one's Nurgle's Brew? Oh, yeah, I was Blessing of Nurgle. Nurgle's Brew, yeah, it's fine. I think it's just a bit overstated is the problem.
I would go for Lancerhigh's Den because of the originality of the structure implementation.
Yeah, I do like it. He hasn't put the keywords ability in for murder, but that's kind of not his fault because the program hasn't been updated yet. I think Elder Godric's waiting for the next batch of card releases to drop. And also, speaking as someone who has modded in the extra, he does provide instructions on how to do it, but they are not very clear, and it is an absolute pain in the ass to actually put them in properly. So I have spent hours banging my head on a wall trying to put the bloody icons in. So I don't blame anyone who hasn't managed to figure it out. Yeah. Okay, so do you want Lancerhigh's over Breathing the Poison?
I think it edges a little bit.
Okay, so Lancerhigh's Den in third, you reckon?
So I would say for me it would be the DesmodDonai, Ripe, and Lancerhigh's Den.
Yeah, I think that's about right. I do like Breathing the Corruption again, but it just has that problem of it being a very specific weird card in certain matchups. There are other good ones. There's a lot of good ones in here. As you, Tainted Northesium would be a contender, but it's just it has the issues of it just has the issues of not really functioning with EG's current code and game design. Kugath is cool, but it's not really a healing card. It does have some interesting interactions though, because healing but rebuffs its attack. But again, it's very cheap and crap for what it very expensive and crap for what its cost is. But it's a cool card, cool design. Mazik is okay. It's a dedicated trap warlord, but that's not really a healing warlord, it's a trap warlord. We managed to skip Regulus as well. I do like Regulus, but again, it's like the healing feels a bit tacked on. He is a vehicle synergy guy, and his lore, he was like cloning himself, I think. That would be a cool one. If he was like a 3 energy 2/3, like whenever you put in play a vehicle, put a copy of Regulus in play or something.
Yeah. So, are we happy with the decision?
I think so. Yeah, all of those other ones that we meant, like runners up, they are good. They're close. You could justify them, but yeah, I do think Lancer Heist takes third.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I guess we're there.
All
yeah.
right. So that is first place goes to Nosferatu DesmodDonai. I pronounced it so well the first time, and now I can't say it properly.
DesmodDonai. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Second one goes to. Help me out here, mate.
DesmodDonai, Ripe, and Lancer Heist.
Yeah, that was it. Septicitus Ripe. Thank you. And third place goes to Lancer Heist. Yeah. So I was trying to do a good roundup there, and my memory failed me. It's too hot here. I've actually got nice weather in England for once. That never happens.
Yeah, that is a thing. All right, Chad. So, first of all, thank you for joining me as always, and thank you everybody for the amazing submissions. And I got an idea which I'm going to discuss with Chad for the next contest. So stick around, guys, and see you in the next one.